Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a match between herO and Mind here on Circuit Breakers. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. It is Mind. Under his Smurf name, Project, and in the bottom left, it is herO. He's teal, he's Zerg, he's not using a Smurf name. I'm not entirely sure why players use Smurf names in these matches, but maybe to protect their practice history. I'm not entirely sure why Mind is using a Smurf and herO is not, but if you know, let me know in the comments. I read every single comment ever on my channel, as people can attest lately. Alright, man. So Mind is a Korean Terran player. As of 2013, his win ratio versus Zerg was 55.7%, with 49 wins and 39 losses. That is pretty darn impressive. But man, herO is one of the best Zergs of the last decade or more. And he's going to give Mind everything he can handle. Alright, so ZVT, a pretty darn versatile matchup here. Terran can go bio into mech, start off with mech, or just do bio the whole game. That's just about it. You can use battle cruisers as well, but every single time I've seen Terran go about battle cruisers against Zerg, they have lost the game. So I'm not entirely sure if that's viable. Let me know in the comments if that is the case or not. And basically, how little I have seen battle cruisers just verifies that battle cruisers are not very good, at least in this matchup, or maybe at all. Anyway, here we have a 12 pool. No biggie. Circuit Breakers is a bit of a Terran-favored map, just because what would be a third base normally against Terran is really scary to take this base. You can set up tanks on this high ground here and hit these mineral lines, and then suddenly Zerg is real sad. It's hard to break a contain on this particular base, so Zerg players will pretty much ignore those in general here on Circuit Breakers. We'll take the top left. This is probably where the third base is going to go here for herO. He is drone scouting a bit, though, trying to see what's what. It's not a command center first play. It's a regular old barracks opening from the Terran player. Nothing to worry about here at all. Doesn't look like a two barracks opening, which would be good to know. The drone's going to sit around here and try to make sure it's not a two barracks opening and not die like before that information would come out, if at all possible. Still no expansion yet. Mind almost has the resources for it. It's going to give out 300 minerals. I think he really wants to make sure there's an expansion here as long as he can. And he can't. The Marine does shoo him away just by merely existing. But the expansion goes down. So it's not going to be a two-base opener that's going to be super scary or anything like that. Or a two-base. A two-racks opener, which would be kind of scary here for the Zerg player. But he's fine. He's got his pool down. He's getting an extractor. Probably take a third again up here would be my guess. And then go to Lurker Tech so he can lurker up that ramp. Got a macro hatch inside his main, which is standard stuff too. And the SCV comes in to just make sure nothing crazy is happening down here, right? Yeah, if there was already an extractor, you might have to worry about speedlings ruining your day, but as it stands, nah. You can deal. Spawning pool is done, but anything that's going to come this way is slowlings. It'll take some time to get here. You'll have enough Marines to handle them. I know slowlings are fast. They're not super fast, but they're faster than Marines and can cause them problems. But if you have enough Marines, they can kind of stand there in a wall and murder things, or we can get a bunker just for safety, or a supply depot just to make the lings run around a little bit. So good stuff so far. Obviously, everybody knows what they're doing with their lives. Still no third base. Ah, we're going lair. Never mind. This is probably a two-base muta play. Based on what we're looking at, I am a little bit surprised he didn't go for a third, but two-base muta is a viable opening. I just feel like Terrans know how to deal with it. The number of times I've seen an elite Terran player just absolutely just deal with it is super high. So lings, I don't know how these lings got in here. I guess the Marines are out to lunch a little bit, but this is what I'm talking about. If you have enough Marines, then the lings can't really engage with them at all. And even if they don't have stim, they can get to where they need to be well enough to save these SCVs' lives. It's not a big deal. Lings trying to just make themselves valuable, but it's just not going well for these little Zerglings that don't have speed. Speed is about halfway done, but it's not going to be done in time to save any of these guys as they explode in blood on the ramp. That is one of the first... You know, that's the first death animation you see in StarCraft, isn't it? Because there's that mission where you're you have to make a bunch of Marines and just... Basically, all you have to do is make supply and barracks and stuff. But there are Zerglings around on the map, and you can kill them, and that's probably the first death animation you see in the game is Zergling death. Huh. Interesting bit of trivia there. Although I suppose if you were bad, then maybe it was Marine death. You maybe sent a single Marine out to explore on his own, and then a couple Lings killed him. Maybe it was a Marine death. What was your first experience with StarCraft like? Was it that mission? Did you get jumped? Like, did you get dumped into a multiplayer custom game by somebody who was mean and didn't let you learn the game first? Was that your first experience? Because that would be really sad. Like, hey, there's this game, StarCraft. You should play it with me sometime. Like, do I have to know? No, just jump. No, just come on over to this computer, sit down, and we'll get this thing started for you. And then that's like your first experience. That would be so sad. That would be terrible. I'm trying to remember. Actually, now that I think about it, was my first experience playing the campaign? Because here's the deal. Me and a bunch of friends in the neighborhood went to Target the day it came out in 1998. We bought a copy. And then we came home to my buddy's house and we played multiplayer stuff. Firebat's on the ramp, by the way. Loving that. Really liking that versus the early Lings. And with Stim, they're going to chase those Lings away for show. Taking the southerly route to attack up this way, but we already have 2 Sunkens. Probably want a 3rd one just in the number of Marines that are here, but it's a little bit too late for that, as Mind rather is going to jump on in and see what he can do. These Lings are trying to stay alive so they can kind of trap the Marines in here if they do commit. Oh, we're going to jump in here anyway. Just picking off 2 or 3 of those Marines is good enough to kind of whittle down that Marine count from terrifying. Like, my first formative, like, holy smokes, I remember that moment, is I was playing Zerg and somebody sent an Archon into my base. And I was like, what is that? And it was really scary. So it was multiplayer. I mean, we were all Warcraft 2 veterans. We all knew how to play Warcraft 2. We were big fans of the RTS. So, I mean, it wasn't completely foreign to play StarCraft. Is it enough with the Lings and the Marines? It is not. Reinforcing Marines come in there. The number of mutas is not quite high enough to be that scary, but now we're getting more in there. Hydralisk Den is on the way, and it looks like we're probably trying to expand at the top left there, too. Overlords are scouting advance and ahead of time. So 2 turrets, maybe not enough against this many mutas. I'm trying to zoom in a way that we can see what's going on and also keep this window up. Yeah, the repair is too good. So, I mean, the goal here for the Mutalisks is just to keep the Terran player at home so the 3rd base can come up, because we're still working on lurker aspect. Man, that was a long time ago. First time playing StarCraft, guys. Shoot. Long time ago. I think my favorite aspect, my other favorite memory of StarCraft might be when I went to my freshman year of college, and in my dorm, there was a dude who was really good at StarCraft, and I was the best player of my group of friends, and so I thought I was hot stuff. And my general strategy as Zerg was to expand 6 times and then just make all the Mutalisks and win. It was really great if your opponents didn't know what they were doing necessarily. And I tried doing it against this dude on my dorm floor, and he was like, no, and he just kept killing my expansions. And I was like, what is happening? No one's ever done this to me before, and he kept kicking my butt. So taught me that there are people out there who are better. He introduced me to the ladder, where I learned that people are better. And that is kind of the prevailing experience in StarCraft, right? Is there's always a bigger fish. Always a bigger fish. No matter who you are, there's always a bigger fish. I mean, I suppose if you win like an ASL or a KSL, you can feel like a big fish for a little bit, but how long does that last, right? Anyway, I've been pretty rambly today, but this game is pretty standard as it stands. This isn't really working out, I don't think. That muta count is down to 4. Turrets kind of reckon these guys. Is there a way out? I think if they fly right... Oh, I don't know, man. I think these are dead mutas, and I think they know it, too. Yeah. Okay. 2 of them make it out very injured. But that muta count is gone and is not going to be replaced. What is the tech going to be? Well, we've got a hive already. Awesome. What's that hive tech going to be? Probably Ultralisks? Can't really go Hydro Lurker against Bio like this. Is he killing his own turret for... Wow, for just mining efficiency off of that refinery. That's amazing. What a sacrifice that was. Nidus Canal coming up to reinforce and defend to the 3rd base if necessary. Lurkers are out. We're working on a Defiler Mound because it's time for that. Yep, 9 minutes. And Dark Swarm's going to change the tone of this game pretty effectively. So how are we doing with the bio? We just continuing with bio here? Definitely getting siege mode, definitely getting science vessels, because that's what you need here against an elite Zerg player once it gets past the 10-minute mark. It's defilers and it's science vessels that make all the difference in the game for each of these respective races. Now the question is, do we get Ultralisks? How are the upgrade patterns? No upgrades there. I don't know that we have missile attack upgrades. Do we have any Hydralisks at all? Or are they all lurkers right now? Hey, Burrow, real quick. I want to check your upgrades. I don't think they have missile attack. I'd be surprised. So what are we doing? We're not upgrading at all? It's all Carapace right now. All right, here we go. We've got tanks. We can actually get up this ramp. With just Marines, it's extremely hard to get up this ramp. Dark Swarm needs to come in here now. Consume is not done yet. This is some really, really nice timing out of Mind. So he's trying to burrow the lurkers to force the tanks back, and that actually works temporarily. And then they retreat out of range of the tanks. None of them are dead yet, which is awesome. Consume is almost done. Where are you, Defiler? I need you to come through the Nidus Canal. He's probably going to consume these lings and then jump through the Nidus Canal and then toss down a Dark Swarm, like, to save this third base, because otherwise the third base is toast. There it is. He's here. There's the Dark Swarm. And are they spaced well enough that splash? Yep. There's, oh, except for that one. That one goes down. Wait, are they firing on a location? I think he just consumed a drone in an emergency situation. That was a drone death sound. This is an emergency situation, by the way. He's getting Plague. He's getting Adrenal Glands. He sent some more lings through for more Consume. And I think we Dark Swarm here. We move everybody down, and we get the Terran off the front porch. Or maybe we move everybody down first, and then we Dark Swarm. That didn't seem very efficient. But we're going to do it. So Lurker's going to burrow in. Lings and Mutas coming in from the other side. That does distract, allowing the... Oh, it does allow the Lurkers to get in on the ramp, and everybody dies. Okay, that worked out. That was bloody for everybody involved. But one of these Lurkers has like 8 kills. Maybe only 4. Maybe it only felt like 8 kills. I don't know. Meanwhile, Mind is taking a third base. Going to be hard to take a fourth here for herO. Yeah, Mind is playing this really well. There is a reason, again, he has a 55.7% win percentage against Zerg players as a Terran. What are we doing? Are we transitioning? We are making a couple, 3 factories, fairly suspicious. How are the upgrades? Oh, mech. All right, we're meching it, boys. Here comes Mind. Going for the mech, doing the old flash macaroni against the Zerg. Who was the first Terran player to go mech against Zerg? Was it I Love OOV? It might have been. They say that he was one of the first great Terrans. But these lings with Adrenal Glands and no attack upgrades do come in and kind of wipe out this third base attempt by Mind, which hurts. That hurts his economy quite a bit. He hasn't given up on taking out this top left, though. Or maybe just preventing a fourth base from coming in. So a few SCVs go down. It's still 44 to 56 workers. Zerg player is down, and Lurker burrowing in again. Lurkers are more cost efficient. There's your irradiate. Time to get your spines out, dude. Is he burrowed? Burrow! I don't think he's burrowed. All right, well, he's dead now, and the Defiler dies from irradiate too. This Lurker, though, any energy for no more energy for you. And oh, 1 hit and 1 kill. All right, split the difference there. Ling's cruising down this side again, and Spider Mines. Ow. A little bit of a premature ow, though. Really wants to expand. All right, so fourth base coming up with tanks right outside your front door. Is he taking another? Yeah, he's trying to expand up at the top here. He is, I think that command center, yep, is landing there. The Terran player is out macroing herO right now. Mind is looking really, really good at the moment. I like what he's doing. He's got map control. The Zerg player is kind of stuck in his own little corner of the universe right now, which is not good, and these bases are pretty much entirely taken care of. Meanwhile, still do a melee attack? Yeah, still working on it. Upgrades take forever and a day, which is why I need to start the upgrades early if you want to have any hope of a benefit from them, and you do want that benefit. For behold, it is a good benefit. Lurker. Wow. These Vultures actually going against these Lurkers here. Lings bodying just a little bit. And all the Lurkers go down. So this base stays alive. I think they were heading up to this area to kill anything they could find, but in the end, that got aborted. Defiler needs to Plague. There's a good Plague. Very nicely done. Oh, beautiful Scourge hits on the Science Vessels, though. You got to be careful with those, man. You got to have flash-level care for those Science Vessels. And then Zerglings pop in to deal with these highly, highly injured Marines. And there you go. That's all she wrote. +1 attack is done for them. Adrenal Glands is done for them. That Marine is not plagued, and as a result is going to do better here with medic support than his buddies did. Just going Hydra Lurker here. This is really interesting. Nice Spider Mine hit. But going back to that Plague, one of my favorite things about Korean casters is how absolutely hyped they get about sort of mundane things. Like, those Marines coming down this way getting plagued would have been like a Plague! Ooh! Like a screaming match. Even though none of them die. Right? And they just continue on their way. And sure, when the Lings jump on top of them and kill them, that's probably a hype moment. But just the fact that Plague gets landed is sometimes, like, insanely crazy for them. And I just don't have the same feelings. I'd like there to actually be consequence, you know? Anyway, there is an attack here at the 4th base, which is the mineral-only expansion in the bottom right. Some of these SCVs will die, but I think all of the lurkers will eventually get irradiated down. Nice Plague on that Science Vessel, though. That one, too. Let's see, they're fine. Like, that is one of the famous clips, right? Zerg lands a Plague on a bunch of Science Vessels, and then they just pull back to safety, like, to the rest of their army, and nothing bad happens to them. It's really incredible. Lurkers do get into the 3rd base, though, here at the 3 o'clock position, and they're doing all right. 4 kills and 6 kills on those guys, but guess how much Irradiate is left? Not enough, actually. As it turns out. 1 Irradiate available. Top right base being taken by Mind. Mind is absolutely keeping up macro-wise with the Zerg player, which is really bad for the Zerg player herO. I mean, that Lurker ends up with 6 kills. Oh, ooh, nice Scourge hits, though. The Scourge hits are great. Oh, he Spider Mines down the Defiler. He was protected temporarily there by the Dark Swarm, but nice Spider Mine play there by Mind. This dude, though, I need more Mind replays. He's playing really well. Kindness Plating coming in, which means we're going to have Ultras. But, as we've seen, Ultras are not necessarily the answer to meching Terran. You know what the answer is drops. Which, you know what? He's been doing drops. That's what these guys are. They're dropper lords. Alright, so he's shutting down all the mining down here at this 4th base mineral-only expansion for mine, but I think the bigger source of income is at the top right and the 3rd, if I had to guess. But little groups of Lings cruising on out, +2 armor, +1 attack, just eating Spider Mines so that the Ultralisks don't have to, which is a noble, noble task and incredibly dangerous. And kills millions of Zerglings every day. Alright, I have some hope for herO here, fellow Zerg players. He's doing the dropping stuff. Southern base gets knocked out by Lings. I kind of like that herO's everywhere right now. Yeah, these vultures can't do much about this. Until the Spider Mines arrive, and then the splash damage ruins everything. Alright, they're still going after SCVs here. They're very nicely done. Getting back inside the Dark Swarm, but I thought he was safe. He was not safe. He's dead. These tanks on the high ground are just liberally killing Zerglings that are trying to get up here and see what's going on. Maybe drop on top of them. Pro tip. You have this. Oh, yeah. We're loading up Ultralisks now. We're getting the big boys, baby. Working on Anabolic Synthesis. Already has the Chitinous Plating. What are the upgrades for the Terran player? +2 attack and +1 armor, and working on +3, +2 across the board here. Yeah, you can't beat mech by attacking it from ground positions. We've seen it over and over and over that it's not doable. What you have to do is drop. You have to make dropper lords to get places that tanks get over places that are protected by tanks. I mean, Goliaths are really good against this too, so Mind has a nice reaction to it. Nice irradiates as well here. Hey, if you want to irradiate the overlords, the ultras are happy to pop out. That is too many tanks, though. Goodbye, Ultralisk. Couple things go down for that one. Ultras just ground assault here. But actually moving back. All right. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the moving back maneuver here. No reason to run Ultras into what may be a mine-infested, Terran-protected patch of ground here on circuit breakers. Drop him. But Mind has adapted. He's got the Goliaths. Not for Mutalisks. Not for Guardians. But for Dropper Lords, which is so intelligent. I'm loving this from him. herO is finally taking this little minerals-only expansion out there. Just outside of his main. Very late. Okay, I guess we're going. Here we go. Lings and Ultras jumping on top of everything. Irradiate's happening. Dark Swarm is up. The Ultras, there are too many of them, though. You can irradiate them all you want, but they're going to keep coming. They're going to be as effective as they normally would be. This third base is toast. These Ultras coming up to try to deal with the remainders of these tanks. And you know what? This is a ground assault that is actually working for the Zerg player. herO picks his spot, picks his time, and manages to wipe out an entire base of the Terran player. However, Northern... Oh, I thought that was an expansion location. It is not for mine. He is just mining places with them spider mines. Center, Vulture's trying to get something done here too. Tank count does actually not seem all that intimidating for Mind right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down here. These high ground tanks are worth their weight in gold right now. Vulture's trying to jump on. Look at this. herO feels confident enough to take this 9 o'clock. And I don't know. He bought some time for these Sunkens to get out. You know what? A lot of these Vultures are going to die. So they're going to kill some drones, but this is by no means a fully saturated base. That's like 6 or 7 drones down, but all of these Vultures died. And the map control that came with them is toast. I guess another drone went down. That might have been a good attack. Hard to tell. Honestly, kind of hard to tell here. So more drops happening. The drops give me hope. They give me life. Tank count, a little bit scary. They got that +3 attack now. When Ultra just gets obliterated there. This is really anybody's game. I like what herO is doing. But what Mind is doing is just more effective, more cost-efficient over time. Spider Mind's doing that 125 damage that ignores armor against those Ultras. Just one of the ultimate counters to Ultralisks are those Spider Minds. Worker count 60 to 71. Mind has retaken that 3 o'clock. SCVs are coming back to work. He still owns this whole right side of the map. It is his now. Ultra drops trying to make stuff happen down here at this 4th base. We've been here before. It's been a favorite attacking spot of herO today. Ultra's amazing against Vultures, but when the tanks arrive, that's when things go bad. Lings running early through the minefield, which again is substantial and always replenishing. God, just taking those hits. You don't want to take those hits if you're an Ultralisk. It's a bad thing. And at this stage, it's 187 supply for Mind and 156 for herO. He's got the Dropper Lords. He's kind of trying to find a place to go, but the turret count is high. Oh, the turret count is high right now. It's just such a response. Ling's getting into this 3 o'clock again. The 3 o'clock. Goodbye, all the SCVs who work here. Oh, this is a bad... No, you guys, this is a bad... No. Oh my gosh, there's more coming. There are medics coming. Why? Oh, finally, some Vultures arrived to try to make something happen. He does remove that source of gas, which is excellent. Meanwhile, a barracks is floating over this way. I don't know why. And then the Vultures clear out the Lings after several SCVs go down. It's actually 64 SCVs to 68 drones right now, and technically herO has the lead on the economy. But this is where things get really tight. He's trying to drop over here, but the Irradiate combined with the Goliaths is just too much. Trying to make a southern attack happen too, but even Dark Swarm doesn't protect you against that tank fire when it's +3, and there are this many tanks. God, this is bad. I mean, taking down science vessels, I support, wholly support. We've been in similar situations, guys. We've seen Zerg players be on the brink of death. We've seen herO on the brink of death, and he's come back, but this is looking like too much. He's got more Lings, more Ultras in production. This left side base, as mentioned, just gets sieged into oblivion, which is why we don't like seeing Zerg players expand there all that much. I mean, the Ultras are dying. The Lurkers are dying before they can burrow. The Ultras are dying before they get in range of anything. The splash damage is too insane. Like, this is a great... It just doesn't matter. The Dark Swarm is irrelevant. The tanks do not care about your Dark Swarm. That's your GG. It's 198 to 121 supply. I mean, sure. Maybe this Ultra Ling attack can actually wipe out this base for the third time today. But I mean, this is the problem. They're going to attack up this way. Oh, we're doing the Boxer maneuver on these drones. Which, you know what? Maybe that does count kills that you get when you're irradiated and you kill drones. 13 and 14 kills on those is kind of nuts. The 3 o'clock base is going down. I mean, herO is doing what he can do, which is attack where the army is not. Because he can't engage with this army with what he has. The Goliaths and their irradiate is just too much. But coming up here is where the army is. There are just too many tanks and too many spider mines. These science vessels are going to be completely massacred. That was not good science vessel protection and care by Mind at all. But it's 181 to 99 total supply. And there's just no way. There's just no way. Tanks protecting this fourth base now, actually in siege mode this time. Spider mines galore. Ultras just eating them hard. Another science vessel down. And the science vessel count is actually not that high by this army. That said, running Lings fruitlessly into these tanks is not going to work out for you, and additional science vessels arrive. Because of course we're just making science vessels back home if you're Mind. You never stop making science vessels. Is how you win this game. Tanks and Vultures and... Goliaths, your GG. We're 3-3 across the board. And herO taps out. Too much Terran, too little Zerg. And our herO is unable to come through today. Mind gets the win. You can see why this guy has that, 56% win rate against Zerg. Hit that like button if you enjoyed that. I'm sure Terran fans did. There were a couple moments where it looked promising for herO. He was doing the drops. He was attacking different places. He was wiping out sources of income for Mind. He was keeping his stuff alive. But at the end of the day, it's just the tanks are so cost efficient. I think it all came down to this attack here. He had the Dark Swarms up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He was running Lings and Ultras and Lurkers into it, but it just didn't matter. The combined splash damage of this many tanks, which is a lot of tanks, that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like 25 tanks here. Too much. Trying to drop on it too hard when your Overlords are getting irradiated and +3 Goliaths are wrecking your Overlords too. It is the ultimate evolution of dealing with Dropper Lords as a mech Terran player. Just get a handful of Goliaths and use your science vessels that are already irradiating stuff and wipe out those Dropper Lords. Maybe like en masse. Maybe just Overlords from every direction, right? Just dropping everywhere on top of this stuff. That might have done it. I don't know. Ling bombs like Zealot bombs dropping on friendly fire, killing most of these tanks. It's a strategy, but hard to pull off. Great patience there from Mind. Just beautiful. Held off the Mutalisk attack pretty well. Obviously, maybe a little bit of overcommittal there from herO, but at the end of the day, Mind did what he needed to do. Very nice. All right, so that's 27 minutes. End of the day there, 220,000 points for Mind, 193,000 for herO. Units produced about 900 for the Zerg player and lost about 700 of them, only killing 200 Terran units of the 500 produced. That math does not add up. 23 buildings raised by herO in this game, which is great. That's a good number, but not enough if the units tab looks like this. And then out gas mining the Terran player, outspending him by about 3,000, 4,000 resources, but not enough. Just too cost efficient. If you're going to win this thing, you need to be outspending. It really feels like by at least 10,000 resources to make it happen. So good job by all today. Great valiant effort from herO and fantastic victory by Mind. And that is going to be it from me. So this is Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.